Hey everybody, welcome back to the Vitruvian Gamer channel, and we're here again with a new unboxing video. Very excited about this game, Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth by Fantasy Flight, designed by Nathan Hajek and Grace Holdinghouse. This is actually a game that uses the gameplay and the app stuff like there is in Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition, of course with differences. It's not the same game. So let's see what's inside the box, but first, as we always do, let's turn over the box and look at the back of it. We can see 14 plus, ages 14 plus, 1 to 5 players, and it plays in 60 and more minutes. So that's quite abstract, so it might take longer than 2 hours maybe, who knows. So what does it say? Not all those who wander are lost. It's a dangerous business, Frodo. Going out your door, you step onto the road, and if you don't keep your feet, there's no knowing where you might be swept off to. So says Bilbo Baggins. So this is a cooperative board game of fantasy and adventure. You and your friends take on the roles of the heroic characters from J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, traveling through Middle-earth to battle villainous foes, make courageous choices, and fight against the evil that threatens the land. With an immersive campaign featuring branching narratives, multiple side quests, and a procedural map generation system, Journeys in Middle-earth is continually surprising and highly replayable. Throughout the game's interwoven scenarios, you must work together to unravel mysteries, fight enemies, and further the story as you protect Middle-earth from the encroaching darkness. Adventure awaits only those who are bold enough to seek it. Gather your friends, pack your bags, and find your fortunes with Journeys in Middle-earth. And as you can see, requires free digital companion app, and we'll show it at the end of this unboxing video very shortly, because I'm not going to spoil anything or so. Then, of course, let's open the box. It is a big box. Let's hope there is not a lot of air in it, and the rulebook is already escaping. No, it's not the rulebook. It says, stop, you need to download this app. I already did that earlier today. It also has some publicity for the Lord of the Rings LCG app that exists, a catalog, as they always do. And then we have, as always, two rule books, one learn to play book, so you have to read everything here before starting your first play. And I've read it already, and I think it's quite done quite well. It's very clear. I didn't have any questions even without having the game with me. It was pretty clear. And of course the rules reference, with at the back a quick reference of the round structure, keywords and attack modifiers and all those things, the icons explained, very useful. And of course in alphabetical order, everything that you might want to look up if you have any questions. There you go. We all know this. I'm not sure if I'm the biggest fan of it. Sometimes it's I prefer a normal complete rulebook, but it does the job pretty well. Then I guess we are going to have quite a bunch of cardboard, and I'm going to take my trustworthy knife here because it's sealed. So as you can see, a bunch of cardboard punch boards here. That's because there is quite a bit of terrain or map tiles in here. So the app is going to tell you how to place terrains, what you are encountering, if you discover new regions. And as you can see, there's a bunch of these regions with spaces, so if you want to move, one step is one area separated by a gray line. And you have a bunch of these are mist tokens, or fog of war maybe, I think it's mist tokens. These are tokens that you can have on your spot. You can do quests or do stuff to gather them as inspiration, which can help you with certain actions. Bags, I don't know what they do. You might find stuff, I guess. A river tiles, some wood tiles, I guess. There we go. Also double-sided, so also inside locations, as you can see here. So pretty cool. And you have a bunch of these. Of course, the famous or infamous proof of purchase token. Nobody knows why it's for, but it's on there. It's on there. Some barrels, more places that you can find, and they're all numbered, so the app will show you the number, and also uses the number to indicate how to rotate the tile, so it is easy to place everything as they should. You have banners to indicate groups of enemies and sometimes elite enemies. There we go. I'm not sure what these tokens are. I guess danger and stuff like that. There we go, and it keeps on coming, so a lot of these, so that's pretty neat. Look at this, it looks pretty cool, right? The castle had seen better days, but it's still cool. You have 2 battle boards. I don't know how these work. I still have to find out. And you have indoor and outdoor. I'll have to figure that one out. I'm not sure how it works. You've got, as we all know from Fantasy Flight, the typical box with a lot of air in it, with the flaps that you can put stuff in between, but it doesn't work. Probably it's going to be the same story this time, but let's see what's inside of all this. So I think here we have the different hero cards. So we have a bunch of them with their abilities or their skills, with their fear and their hit points. So as you take damage or you get fear, you go down there. If you ever get to 0, you can still do a last stand trying to survive the damage or trying to survive the fear level. And we have Beravor, Gimli, Legolas, Elena, Bilbo, and Aragorn. So that's 6 of them in the box, and of course there will be expansions with more, I'm pretty sure. We have a background, a suggested start items and roll, but you can choose, so you don't have to do the suggested one, but take it how you want, or choose the way you want to play that. Of course, every hero needs his miniature, right? So in this little baggie we have all the 6 heroes here, and they're the decent quality. We know them. Fantasy Flight quality is pretty decent. They look nice. They will probably look much nicer if they are painted, but as you know, or not, but now you know it, then I am not a great painter, and I don't have the patience and nor the skill to paint these, so I guess they will stay like this, the way they are, and that will do the job just fine without any problems. They look really cool, I think. Very nice miniatures for the heroes. There we go. The small one, the Hobbit. All right, what else do we have? We have some standees. These are for the banners that I showed you earlier on the punch boards, so you can place them on the board. And then we have a bunch, but I really mean a bunch of small cards, all different types of cards. I don't think there are large cards in there. No, bunch of small cards. So it is the small size of cards that you also maybe know from previous Fantasy Flight games. And as you can see, these are, for example, this is one for Aragorn. So in the start of the game, you will make a deck for your character, which uses a couple of standard cards, some cards specifically for the character, and then some cards that depends on the role they have. So there are different roles in the game as well. So each player will have their deck, which also is used as the dice, or to see if you succeed. So if you, for example, have to do a check of sanity, and you're or let me see what you a wit check, and you have a wit of 2, you're going to reveal the top 2 cards of your deck, and for each one of these symbols here you have a success. So depending on how much you need, your skill check is going to succeed or not. If this symbol shows, you can spend one of those tokens that I showed earlier, the inspiration tokens, to make this into a success as well. So that's how skills will work. And as you can see, a lot of cards. I think these are weakness cards, or no, damage cards. So you have damage cards. So it works like a little bit like in Mansions of Madness. If you take damage, sometimes you just take a card, that's 1 damage, or sometimes you take the face-up card and you do whatever it says, and probably, or you discard it, or you have to flip it and still keep the damage. So in this case, you are stunned, for example. Also, honestly, the artwork, even though their cards are small, really nice artwork, folks. But we didn't expect less from Fantasy Flight. These are weakness cards. They have a name, but they don't do anything real. So you start the game with 1 weakness card in your deck. They just, well, they just worthless in your deck. So if you draw them in a skill check, they don't give a symbol. They have a name. It's more for the flavors. So in this case, we're distracted. It's okay. It doesn't mean anything more than the watched weakness, for example. It does just the same thing. Maybe in expansions, who knows? More of the cards that can be put into your deck. These are the fear tokens, I think. Gloom, for example. And these are trinkets. So trinkets, you can gather these during your travels as well. They will have tokens on them, and each time you have to deplete this item, you deplete mostly when using it. You put you remove one of those tokens with the bags. Now I remember, from the card, and if it's depleted, then the card is probably useless from then on. A lot of different trinkets that you can get during your travels in Middle Earth. Now, that wasn't all, because look at it, another one of those bags. So there's a lot of cards in this game, all small cards, so no large cards in this game. And again, more stuff. This is, for example, one for the Pathfinder role, the Word of Warning. So, and it says Pathfinder 4. So the player that takes on the Pathfinder role will get these cards into their deck. So more cards depending on roles. So this is a basic card, so you start this game with that card for sure. You have stuff that you can have, so barrels, table, bush, so sometimes you can get that. And don't know what this is, so that might be mentioned in the rulebook. I don't know. It's armor, for example, so not sure how you get that. You can get hidden, you can get emboldened, and or you can get determined, so that's pretty cool. And more trinkets to be found and to be used, because you will need them, I'm pretty sure. Because what didn't we see yet? Well, this bag of miniatures. We of course have a bunch of enemies. I'll just dump them in the box for now. Let's take a look at some of these. There we go. So you don't want to get, well, to see those running around in your neighborhood, but you will for sure. Some orcs, pretty neat. Some, wow, dark skeletonish warriors, and they probably have a name. I'm sorry. I know Lord of the Rings from the movies, from the book, but my knowledge is not perfect, that's for sure. Let's show a few more of these, but they look pretty neat, pretty cool. And I'm pretty sure, and look at this big boy, hello, I'm pretty sure soon, more sooner than later, the store where I got the game already mentioned that there will be a mini expansion with more miniatures. So that's the first one that's coming. It's going to be a small miniature expansion, so that's coming already. And I'm pretty sure there will be many expansions here and also on the app. Talking about the app, let's go to my tablet and I will show you very quickly how the app looks like. Be right back. Okay, so here is the app. It's loading. I hope you can see this well on screen because I'm just filming it. So there we go. It says that it requires the board game. So of course, so there we go. That's the, let's see if we can get some noise out of this. So it has of course some music, and here you can put into well, your collection to see what you have. Of course we have the base set, and here you can see that there is coming soon the Villains of Erlador, coming soon, a small pack with some miniatures. And as soon as you have it, you can tell the app that you do, and it will change the adventure so it knows that it can add those enemies to the game. Also, it has the rules reference. It goes to the side, not that important. Let's go back to the app. There we go. And of course you can load the game if you already had one, or make a new game. If making a new game, you get a campaign. There is only one campaign at this moment. The Bones of Arnor, as we can see. Then we can select the difficulty. You can play normal or hard. So your choice. And then you can select the save slot, so you can do multiple games with multiple groups of people, a solo game maybe, or whatever. And then you select the heroes that you play. If you're playing solo, you always take 2 characters to play with. If you take character, you just add it to the game, and then you are going to select the starting items. These are the ones that are advised, but you can change it if you want. You can name your party right over here, I guess. There we go. Party. Oh, I've got the P. I didn't forget that. No, all right. So a party name. Hello, and you begin, and then you get the story. There we go. And that's something I'm not going to spoil. So that's it. That's the app. There we go for for Journeys in Middle Earth. And that's what you get in this game. A bunch of cards, that's for sure. A bunch of map tiles, and your heroes and your enemies. Enemies are still in the box. So that's it, folks. That's the unboxing for Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle Earth. Thank you for watching it. If you liked it, feel free to thumbs up, to subscribe if you haven't yet, and to comment down below if you have something to say about this latest game of fantasy flight games set in the world of Lord of the Rings. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all very soon. Bye bye.